You're listening to the Major Pod Network, the only place where your favorite toy store, card shop, arcade, theme park, and arena are all on the same block. Scratch that major itch.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 48 of MC True Long Island Story. I'm your host, always ready, the internet champion, Matt Cardona.
The internet champion.
Internet champion.
I'm also your producer of the show, Smart Mark Sterling, Esquire. We're diving right into it. You're not even in this episode.
I'm not even in it because I was killed.
You were killed on TV.
I was killed.
Well, I got a lot of questions about that. But first, let's talk about some follow-up. Maybe from last week or some things that people reached out to us about. Do you have anything?
I do not. This is an interesting week. We're about to get into the downfall of Z. Mm-hmm. Not only necessarily the show, but my career. And that's why we're stopping this show at episode 50. Mm-hmm. Because the first year, we've said it a bunch of times, the first year is a positive, uplifting story. Second year, not so much. Now there's a couple gems, a couple great episodes in there, a couple great segments. But it's not a happy story, and I don't want to be negative. I don't need negativity in my life. Of course, we will come back. We're going to take a couple weeks off, do some heavy research, and come back with 10 episodes. So Kane, boom. Cover all Kane in every episode. You know, the whole saga. Mm-hmm. All the WrestleMania stuff. So we have the 10, but if you have a better suggestion, tweet us. Hit us up. Leave it in the comment. I'll tell you right now what we have 10. Take a swig. I was about to. If you're maybe. Oh my God! Take 2 swigs. I need 2 swigs. It's early, Mark.
Yeah, we got to do some sort of interview deal with Big O, and I would love to talk to Stanford as well. You know how they do the reality shows and they come back with like a reunion and everybody's there? Maybe someday we can get Big O, Stanford in a Zoom together. We'll call it the Z reunion.
That would be insane. All right, here are the ideas I have for episodes. Okay, a Big O interview. I think that's. Absolutely. Listen, I want to have Scott Stanford on here, but Big O is more important. I want to cover the first WWE episode, which would be episode 51.
Yep.
I want to cover obviously episode 100, which is the last. The whole Kane saga. I want to cover WrestleMania 28 and 29 because 29 is important too. Hosky, the unaired episode, the merch, Last Resort, the trilogy sequel, and then these 2 episodes that were really, really funny, Ryder Takes Manhattan and the Alternate Universe episode, and of course, a general Q&A. So I don't know the exact order of those, but those are the ones I want to cover. And if you guys have any other ideas, please, that's what the original show and this show is all about, is that fan interaction. So please hit us up and let us know.
All right, here's some follow-up. Roy Fizzle, Matt, I've never written vows. Sorry. So Matt says in last episode, I've never written vows before. And then he's saying, God, I hope not. Of course you haven't written vows.
Well, I mean, some people do get married more than once.
True. Bill Blaski.
That unheard of.
Lol, I'm starting to realize Broski didn't get that push because Triple H didn't like him for some reason. I didn't even think of that, Bill. Wow. You got it. Luis Perez, right on top of your cell phone if you want to get used to putting it on. Ring on top of your cell phone if you want to get used to putting it on. # married life tips. So,
I don't get that.
So when you get home, you put your cell phone down, ring on top of it. Or when you go to bed, ring on top of the cell phone. Then when you wake up, first thing you grab, cell phone, put the ring on.
Sure. Boom. I got to get some of those silicone rings. Maybe we should make some major pod silicone rings. Bro, I'm texting Kiddick right now. Can we make major pod silicone wedding rings?
Oh my God.
Yes.
Who's coming down the aisle with major pod?
Well, no,
purple?
It's I would wear one. You, Brian, sure. Heath, David C.
Heath, I know you love your wedding ring, but
no, but he wears a silicone. A lot of people wear silicone ones. If you're active,
you don't. I don't. I haven't. I don't have one. No. All right, last one. Frank E91210 91210. Hey Matt, congrats on the wedding. And Mark, congrats on Jade's big win. Must have been a cool moment to be part of the first ever TBS title match with your hashtag Jade Brand jacket, of course. And of course, I had to do it big toyetically for the big match. So,
in my mind, I know it's not going to happen like this because action figures are so advanced, right? But in my mind, I'm thinking like, go back, close your eyes, picture like summer 1997, Jakks Pacific, right? Let's pretend Jakks is making an AEW.
Yeah.
Right? Managers, Series 1, right?
Yeah.
AEW Manager Series 1, Jade Cargill and Smart Mark Sterling. And you think, okay, so Jade is going to be the non-bone crunching action figure, right? But no, it's Mark just standing there, in the suit. The Bob Backlund, Clarence Mason suit. And Jade has all the articulation.
Of course.
It's great.
Of course, it's great.
That should be that should be a shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees, like AEW Managers, right? And it's like Jade has all this articulation, and you're just standing there like... Your neck doesn't even turn. Your arms just go up and down like this. Your legs don't move.
That'd be great. Who out there can make that art for me? Let's
the Clarence Mason does the point. So
I know.
In theory, it's like pointing to your head.
Yes.
Oh, that's
a great thing.
Someone's got to make that. That's great.
Drafted Clarence Mason in FWF. Who knows?
Oh.
All right. Let's go to the Broski of the week, but first, let's hear a little word from our sponsor.
The Major Pod Network has a new tag team partner, Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Everybody needs some liquid courage to make their own weekly purchases. Scratch that figure itch and scratch that PBR itch.
Get your PBR beer, get your PBR hard coffee, and get your PBR stronger seltzer.
8%? If you're listening to this, you're already a major mark. Now it's time to become a major PBR mark.
Use the hashtag MajorPBR and post your pictures and videos of you major marking out.
Pabst Blue Ribbon and the Major Pod Network, the new tag team champions of the world.
Of the world!
But we're definitely not getting any new figures from Mattel.
The Broski of the week.
The Broski of the week. There's only 3 left. That's unbelievable, guys. There's only 3 left. You will get this 8x10 available at MattCardonaMerch.com and available at all the indie shows I go to, except for GCW because I don't sell merch there. The Broski of the week headband. Only 3 of these left, and they're gone. They're sold out. They're gone forever, and I'm not making more. And then the Broski of the week sticker, which I took out. I don't know where it is. Oh, here it is. Last week I dropped on the floor. Here it is, the Broski of the Week sticker. Let's talk about GCW for a second before we get to the Broski of the Week. Did you see those photos with Joey Janela? Those obviously doctored Photoshop photos of him and Chelsea?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I'm showing them right now.
Yeah, I don't know what he's trying to do here. I don't know what he's trying to pull. Like, we obviously know Joey Janela doesn't stand a chance with a woman like Chelsea Green. We obviously know that my dogs would not ever allow him into my backyard. It's disgusting. I mean, look at Joey Janela. He thinks he's a ladies' man. Look at him. How could he be the face of GCW? I think GCW likes people with bad teeth. Look at Nick Gage, right? They got Joey Janela. Joey Janela, you look at his physique, and then you look at his teeth, and you could tell he doesn't eat healthy. He eats butter and rocks. That's what Joey Janela does. Yeah. That's what Joey Janela does. And I said to Brett Lauderdale, I'll only come back to GCW if you give me Joey, because this is bullshit. Now he's like, my parents saw these photos, my Uncle Tony saw these photos, Aunt Karen saw these photos. They're very upset. And then he gives me Rhino. He gives me fucking Ricky Morton. So I got to wrestle Rhino this weekend, Ricky Morton. I don't want them. I'll beat them both fine. I mean, double padded lopes.
Right.
But I want Joey Janela.
Yeah, give Broski Joey Janela hashtag. Is there a hashtag for this? Give me Janela.
No. There's no hashtag. This is bullshit. And everything that Joey Janela is claiming about Chelsea, it's untrue.
It's untrue. You heard it here. We needed to bring it up on this podcast, obviously.
We had to. I just had to get it off my chest.
Yeah, of course.
Anyway.
All right, Broski of the week.
Broski of the week. Broski of the week. All you got to do, not a lot of time left to do it, leave a review, right? Screenshot the review. Then go to my Twitter at the Matt Cardona. Go to the quote tweet at the top. or go to the tweet, the pin tweet at the top, quote tweet it, and in that quote tweet, use the hashtag Broski of the Week, post your review, and you will be Broski of the Week. This week, Broski of the Week, at French311. Full transparency, I missed the Ryder revolution as it happened in 2011. That year, I got married. I still tried to follow WWE, but didn't pay attention much to the online stuff. It wasn't until I discovered the podcast in 2019 that I binge watched all 100 episodes in one day. What? That's insane.
Wow.
Then again, during the holidays in 2021, you did it twice? Holy shit. I regret nothing. Needless to say, I was more than excited when MC True Long Island Story was announced. The original episodes were fresh in my mind and couldn't wait for Broski and Smart Mark's breakdown. The show has been amazing. It's my number one show to look forward to each week, a trip down memory lane, and a way to fill in the gap of my wrestling fandom that I missed. The Deathmatch King proves over and over that dedication and betting on yourself works. It inspires me, and I cannot wait to see what happens next. Thank you. Well, M. French 311, thank you. You are the Broski of the Week. Congrats, dude.
Hell yeah.
I love it. I love it.
All right. We'll go back 10 years. Got a couple tweets here. Matt Cardona, January 6th. I almost have more Twitter followers than at Mike the Miz. Hashtag really. Now,
Okay.
apparently that week, you had more followers than him, then he had more followers than you, and then you had more followers, and it was a neck and neck race that week back in
Okay, so
2010.
A year, 2011. No, that's 2012.
Yeah.
That's 2012.
Yeah.
Okay, so a year later, this happens. It came up in my Facebook memory, so I know we're kind of jumping all over the place. We'll probably talk about it in those 10 episodes. WWE posted something on Raw.
Yeah.
The world follows WWE on Twitter. It says, The Rock. And these are listed. Number 1, The Rock, 3,819,000, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
Then John Cena, 3,277,000. Then Randy Orton, 1,778,000. Then CM Punk, 1,489,000. And then it says The Miz, 878,000. However, WWE didn't want to acknowledge me. At that time, I had 100,000 more followers than The Miz. Not like 100, not 5,000. I had a full 100,000 more followers than The Miz. This is a year later.
Yeah.
So, like, they've completely written me off, right? Completely written me off, like,
That's
in their
insane.
mind and on television.
Yeah.
I'm still popular. I'm still in the top 5. The top 5. They obviously know social media is a big deal. They're fucking putting it on Raw.
Yeah.
Top 5, blah, blah, blah. And they leave me off the list. Like, listen, I already knew, like, it was over for me. But, like, this was, like, the icing and the fucking sprinkles on this cake.
I remember when this happened. I remember, like, being upset about it on social media. I probably tweeted about it. Send me that picture, too. All right. January 6th. If you want to be Broski of the Week, put a 30-second or less audition video on YouTube. Hashtag Be My Broski. So I thought this was neat. We were specific this time, 30-second or less. But also you're back to asking people to send in things. Because for a while there, it was like, my dad, whoever it was.
Yeah, I always love the fan interaction. But full disclosure, like they just stopped being good. So I wanted people to kind of get that urge to do it again.
Okay. This is an all-time tweet. January 8th, 2012. At M_Chiappetta. You're tweeting to him. How about you stop buying computer programs and start paying the rent? Which we've talked about. Chiappetta may have been a little delinquent on that rent a couple years later or whatever it was.
Right. That's right.
So things are happening right now with some sort of computer programs. I don't know what computer programs.
Well, I think it was like Final Cut. He was teaching himself how to edit because he had True Long Island Story.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll talk more about Chiappetta coming up. All right, matches you had this week. The show goes up on Thursday, the 5th of January last week, and then you fly out to Mississippi St. Fair Coliseum in Jackson, Mississippi, where you defeat Jack Swagger and Ted DiBiase on a house show in a triple threat match.
Zero memory of that match.
WWE United States title.
I would love to see that if somebody had that.
You go from Mississippi to Oil Palace in Tyler, Texas, USA, This is the next day, 7/12. United States title, Zack Ryder defeats Jack Swagger. And then you go to Foster Communications Coliseum in San Angelo, Texas, USA, for another house show. The next night, this would be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. This would be Sunday night, 1/8/12. United States title, Zack Ryder defeats Jack Swagger. We've talked about all these guys. Okay, Raw, January 9th, 2012. This is a big Raw. American Bank Center, Corpus Christi, Texas. So you go from Mississippi to Texas to Texas to Texas, which makes sense. Rating was 2.9. I'm going to read you what happened. To start Raw, the Big Red Monster started the second Raw Super Show of 2012, this is a Super Show, by taunting John Cena, continuing to push him to embrace hate. It didn't take long for the C Nation leader to respond as he charged the ring, and a brawl erupted all over the arena and backstage. The battle ended in a stalemate with neither superstar truly getting the best of each other. Okay. Later on in the show, towards the end, Eve made her way to the ring ready to battle Divas champion Beth Phoenix, but instead, the Glamazon's entrance theme instead of the Glamazon's entrance theme playing, the arena went red and Kane's music played. Eve panicked, unsure of what to do, until U.S. champion Zack Ryder ran to the ring to try and help her escape. They ran to Ryder's car, which suspiciously had a flat tire. Storytelling. 2 weeks before facing WWE champion CM Punk #1 contender Dolph Ziggler battled 10-time, this is like in the main event, 10-time WWE champion John Cena. Ziggler uses agility and amateur background to show off and keep Cena from building momentum early. However, Cena built up steam against Ziggler, but the Titantron showed Kane attacking Zack Ryder as the U.S. champion tried to change his flat tire. As soon as he was free of Ziggler's attempts at a sleeper hold, Cena ran to help his broski. As he exited the arena, the C Nation leader was attacked by the Big Red Monster. The menacing Kane stood over the unconscious Cena and Ryder as the Raw Super Show went off the air. You got chokeslammed.
Off of a fucking loading dock.
Off of a loading dock. Let's talk about it.
Oh, man. I think this is when I said like a couple weeks ago or last week that at the time, I'm like, oh, I'm working with Cade. Got this Eve angle. Cena, this is great. I think it's like now where I'm like, all right, this is not great. Like this is not great. But I still had hope that, okay, well, you know, I'm the babyface. I'll get my retribution, you know? Mm-hmm. So I believe like I'm all over this show. I believe there's like a pre-tape with Eve. Maybe I'm getting my dates confused. I know there's something where I'm back. This is like, I'm in a locker room and I'm brushing my teeth for some reason.
Okay.
And like Kane's behind me. And then when I look up, he's gone. It's like, all right, what are we doing here? Like, this is like a little too goofy. Like Z trolling on story was goofy. But then when I'm in like the wrestling ring or like a wrestling setting, like it can't be that. Of course it has to be entertaining. Yeah. But it can't be like goofy.
Yep.
And then it was the whole thing with the changing the tire and getting chokeslammed with the loading dock. And listen, to this day, I have no idea how to change a tire. I don't. I do not.
Many people don't. I could if my life depended on it, but I wouldn't want to.
They wanted me to change this tire. I'm like, I don't know how. And they tried teaching me like minutes before we shot this. I'm like, I'm not. It was just so stupid. Like, why wouldn't I just run away? Why would I change the tire if the tire was flat? Like, so there's this big monster. Think about this, okay? If this is real, right? This big fucking red machine monster chasing me and the girl that I love.
Yeah.
I run to my rental car. The tire's flat. Should I keep running? Oh, no. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go into my trunk, get that spare. I'm going to change that tire. What?
No, what you should do in real life is you go straight to security. You get 6 security guards. Then you go to Vince McMahon and say, Vince, there's a man trying to attack me and I'm at work.
Yeah, it just was so stupid. And listen, I understand, like, it's a show. And I have no problem being chased by Kane or getting chokeslammed with the loading dock. Like, that's fine. It's cool.
Yep.
But the whole point, like, okay, the tire's flat, so I'm going to change the tire while this man is chasing me. What am I, like Bob Holly? I could change these tires in a snap of a finger? You know what I'm saying?
Well, theoretically, you had the entire main event while Cena's wrestling Dolph Ziggler, which is probably only 2.5 minutes. I didn't write down the time, but
long story short, don't change the tire.
yes.
Kane comes out,
Yep.
beats me up, choke slams me off the loading dock. Now, of course, there's a crash pad there, and this was live. So, of course, the way they shoot it, and you can't see this in the episode or the Z-True episode because I crap around it, but the way they shoot it, you can see me like bounce off the crash pad.
Okay.
Just not a good night, not a good day at the office, man, it was just brutal. It was brutal.
Nice little jump there for the chokeslam, though.
Well, of course, I'm professional, but
Right.
it just wasn't good. And every time I go back to that building, I look at that loading dock, like this is where it all happened. I'll never forget that building for two reasons. One, that's also the building that we found out that Chris Benoit, did what he did.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Actually, no, I take that back. This is where we found out Chris Benoit and his family was found dead.
Oh, right.
So I already had like horrible memories of this building to begin with.
Yep.
And now I get chokeslammed off a loading dock here.
Right.
So it's double bad memories.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the next night, Laredo Energy Center, Laredo, Texas, January 10th. It's on Sci-Fi. That's Smackdown. Daniel Bryan and the Big Show, they're still wrestling on top. AJ is getting thrown into this. Big Show accidentally hits AJ. Big Show's upset. That's the angle there. We got that slow heel turn there from Daniel Bryan in the main event of SmackDown with Big Show and Mark Henry kind of feuding and stuff. So that's what's going on at SmackDown. I don't think any Zack Ryder on SmackDown. You got chokeslammed out the loading dock.
No, that's probably it.
All right, let's dive into episode 48.
All right.
We open with a guest host. It's Chiappetta. I think he does a pretty good job. At first, I'm like, why is he here? Is Broski just so busy? But obviously, I forgot. You get chokeslammed off. Whose idea was this? What was the thought process? I mean, obviously you weren't hurt, but what was the thought process?
I knew if I got chokeslammed off this loading dock that I couldn't be hosting this show. So that's pretty much it. So I had the idea, all right, we'll have Chiappetta do it. Luckily, I had Chiappetta, who was a character, living with me. We used the cardboard cutout. So we're like, all right, let's make this episode basically telling the story of what happened.
Also, he plugs his show, too.
Yeah, and we used Big O, Stanford, my dad, to kind of continue the Kane angle. Because, that's what I did on the show, was continue angles and try to make them
Extra better.
Extra better, yeah, that's right.
Extra better.
Chi did well.
Yeah, did pretty good.
Yeah, he did all right.
I'll tell you this.
Chiappetta.
You compare this episode to like his first two appearances where he talked.
Oh, yeah. He's getting really, really comfortable.
Yeah, pretty good. Sign of the week, it's behind Ziggler, like oiled up in the ring, but it's a drawing of you. Pretty cool sign.
That was my Twitter picture at the time.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So Chi says Dak's hurt from Raw, and he shows the clips. We already talked about that.
Yeah, I showed that whole clip. Oh, man, I never want to see it again. Oh, boy.
Yep. Your dad cuts a nice little promo on Kane. He's pissed. Right?
Yeah, obviously, guys, this is a thrown together episode because I can't be involved. So I just
thought it
have
was
to
pretty
use
good.
footage. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think it's the best it could possibly be, using all the characters to tell a story. Then we get into Stanford, who, of course, starts plugging the Know Your Bro Home Edition again.
But also,
Holy shit.
He says he's not mad. I'm not mad that I wasn't asked to host. But in my mind, I'm like,
Oh, he's mad.
was he actually mad? Was he?
He probably was a little mad.
He probably would have done a great job hosting it, though.
For sure.
But it is funny that he plugs. He's talking about the serious thing. You're hurt. He's thinking about you, but also the No You Bro Home Edition. That was
fine.
That was a nice little segment. Broski of the week. Some fans. It looks like a dad, his son, and his son's friend.
I think it's his other son.
Well, yeah, whoever it is, he's taking care of himself in the shower. I'm like, where is this going?
Yeah.
But he's actually shaving his legs.
But he's not embarrassed by it, which I like.
Because he says, woo, woo, you know it.
Nothing wrong with a little manscaping, I don't shave my legs per se, but I do veet them, every 2 weeks. from butthole to toes. Get rid of everything down there.
Right, exactly.
Get rid of that hair. Take care. Get rid of that body hair, baby.
All right. So what do you have for the next thing?
My next thing on here is Big O cutting that promo with the fire bursting out. That big. I don't know where he's at. I don't know where he started that fire.
It looked like I was actually looking at that. I'm like, at first I thought he was on the beach, but then it looked like one of those fire pits. So he was probably in somebody's backyard with the fire pit.
Whoever was filming it was like, just breathing so heavily. Jesus Christ.
Actually, before that, I have written, Eve and Broski were going on a date, but Kane ruined it. I think that was something she said. But then the Are You Serious, Bro? Is at Zack Ryder doesn't know how to change a tire. Are you serious, bro?
I still, listen, 2022, still don't. And I'll never know. Just fucking get it fixed.
Big O's promo was really good. So back to that. He always seemed very comfortable. Very, for somebody that was a civilian a year before this, his promo game is top notch.
He could definitely talk. He was always an entertainer. Even to this day, could still talk. If you watch FWF Live 2, he did a promo, and he killed it on one take. I think we did another one, but his performance was great on the first one. He doesn't mess up. He knows what he's doing. He just has that natural charisma. He has it. The only problem is he didn't really have the heart to do the wrestling thing.
Right. Yeah. I feel like if he was one of us where he was obsessed with wrestling his entire life. I know he watched it, but obsessed. He probably would have.
And when I would talk to Big, we would butt heads a lot, but a lot of times I'd actually see his point of view. For instance, if he's doing an indie show, be like, I can't stay to the end. I gotta go make money bartending. Why would I stay at the end and take off of work? I'm getting paid $15 to wrestle. I could make $1,000 and it makes sense. I see what he's saying, but
yeah,
he's 100% accurate in the sense that yes, he would make more money bartend. I get it, but that's the business. You got to pay your dues and listen, that was 10 years ago. Now I don't know. There's probably no respect in the industry. You can probably leave whatever you want, but you had to help out and do stuff like that when you were brand new.
My God,
he was thinking I'm on this show. I already have a name, and listen. He was selling out these shows at NYWC. Right. People were there to see him. They were buying tickets to see him. There's no denying that. So he didn't understand why if he went to New Jersey, why he'd have to, then I'll be stuck in traffic. I'll never make my shift.
Right. Oh, there's so much stuff in wrestling that if you explain to a civilian, they would just be like, what? So then when you walk in, you have to lock eyes with every single person in the building and shake hands. Could you imagine telling somebody who works in an office that they have to do that every morning? I know there's 100 people in this building, but you have to go cubicle to cubicle and shake their hands and look them in the eyes and pay them respect.
I'm so glad if any good thing came out of COVID is that we don't have to shake everyone's hand.
Just this.
Hey guys. and that's what I was kind of doing towards the end anyway. Come on. It's enough.
Yeah, of course you can do that.
Yeah.
All right. Hashtag Ask the Heel is back. Another nice little promo. Here's something I noticed about Ziggler. These promos are poetic. They sort of rhyme, but they don't. But they kind of have a rhythm to them.
Yeah.
And I'm is he reading off of a cue card?
No, I don't think. I'm sure it's obviously rehearsed.
Well,
nothing wrong with that.
No. But it's just so fluid and performative. It's just really good. It's an interesting take on a promo because it's poetic.
And I always wondered how big is his fucking TV that he's able to do these in front of his TV? Where you don't see that it's an actual TV. I'm
I kind of, for some reason in my mind, it's 2022. I thought it was a green screen, but you're right. He was in front of his TV.
Yeah.
What was I thinking? All right, you close out. Nice little close out with Chi. He's funny, a little awkward here. But nice little close. He this was the take care, spike your hair.
Yeah, I mean
his hands are so robotic. It's funny.
It was luckily I had Chi because what would I have done if I didn't have Chi? Not do an episode, which we know is a cardinal sin. You can't do that.
Oh, absolutely, you got to do.
You can't do a recap episode. I guess I could have done a recap kind of thing, best of episode. And this ends up happening a couple more times where Kane just beats the shit out of me so bad. We're like, well, what am I supposed to do? Like, I got to do this show.
Who else hosts? G always?
I believe there's one where I'm like sitting in the wheelchair.
That's not bad.
Like,
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
idea.
it's not bad. But yeah, obviously in retrospect, this ends up being the beginning of the end. We're like, but I was still optimistic. I still thought, listen, I'm with Cena. Cena will go to bat for me. We'll maybe Undertaker like turns heel and it's me and Cena beating Undertaker and Kane. I don't know. I did not think it would go the way that it did. I was still selling merch. They were just about to move my channel to WWE YouTube channel to launch this new channel. So like I wasn't that worried, in retrospect, sure. At the time, not really. I mean, still selling tons of merch. Was still booked on all the house shows.
Full loop.
Multiple segments on Monday Night Raw.
You're the champ.
I'm the U.S. champ. They're moving my show and taking their YouTube channel, which just shows clips, and starting a whole new thing based on my show. So, like...
Yeah, if you were to sit down and tell somebody right now, 10 years ago, hey, I don't know about this. I'm feeling a little anxious about my spot. They would look at you and go, shut up.
Yeah.
Because it's insane to think about that.
And what's really wild to me is like, I guess I have to announce it next week that I'm moving.
I literally was just going to say that. We're at episode 48. You're gone by 51 and you haven't mentioned it yet. We know from the podcast biz, you got to start that promoting a month and a half in advance.
Yeah, I got to look through some emails. There might have been a reason why. I do remember having a talk with Triple H about this where he was like trying to convince me to move it over. I didn't want to do a YouTube show anymore. That wasn't my goal when I started this. It wasn't to be this guy on YouTube. It was to get on TV. I'd got on TV. Like we just said, I'm the U.S. champ now. I'm doing stuff with Cena and Kane.
Right, and you weren't making any more money from this. You weren't making monetization.
That's another thing. I was never making money off the YouTube channel because I didn't want WWE to think I was making money off their IP. I knew that then. And then when the show moved over, they did not pay me. They did not give me a budget. I asked for it. And, Triple H's excuse was, well, then we have to pay Santino or whoever had a show, Kelly. And I said, okay, but they're just filming this on a green screen for an hour at TV while they're at work anyway. I'm doing this when no one ever understood the work that went into doing this show, especially because I am not tech savvy. The editing, the filming would take me days. So, well, listen, it's an unfortunate series of events. Do I wish things went a little differently? Sure. But I can't change the past. I can't, regret that time. Do I wish that I would have knocked on Vince's door in a couple weeks when I knew things were kind of going to shit and said, hey, what are we doing here? But I didn't. So that's on me. So I don't blame anybody. I don't blame Triple H. I don't blame the writers. I don't blame Vince. I blame myself for not kind of asking what's up because I'm not going to sit here and blame other people or hold a grudge or be bitter. That's not going to change anything. It's not going to make me feel any better. I'd rather just take all the blame myself and live with that, and that's how I choose to handle it. You can choose to handle your situations differently. I'd like to take the blame and take accountability. I don't know. That's just how I operate.
I agree, but it's tough to look back on anything because here we are having the time of our lives, and what if you change that? Maybe this wouldn't be happening. Maybe you'd be depressed. Who knows? All right.
And listen, like time will, if you go through on Twitter, you'll find a lot of, I think I invented, not only did I invent the internet in wrestling, I also invented the negative tweet, the bitter tweet. Trust me, you're going to find a bunch of those in 2012, 2013.
True.
But, it is what it is. I can't change those either.
I invented the bitter tweet. That should be an MC shirt.
Yeah.
Hashtag bitter.
It is what it is, and then after all that, that's when I realized, hey, listen, the only things you're going to change, or the only things you can control in this crazy business are your attitude, your physique, right? Like, and your gear. There's not much you can control. And once I started focusing on that, things slowly very slowly turned around. I ended up winning the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania. So like how many times was I written off? I was written off as the Major Brothers. No, we're going to be the Edgeheads. We're not fucking done. Right? Then I was written off as the Edgeheads guys. Oh, no. I'm this woo-woo guy. One-legged tights guy. I'm going to fucking make it. Then I was written off as that. I'm like, no. I'm going to start this fucking YouTube show and show everybody who I am. Then I was written off from that. And I said, no, fuck this. And I became the fucking IC champion guy. Even for a day, but whatever. I still fucking did it. Then I was written off from that. I still came back with Hawkins won the tag team titles of Mania. And there's probably other times in there that I've been written off, and I say this a lot, and I mean it. There's no one in this business. Now, please, if I'm wrong, leave it in the comments. Who in this business has been written off and counted out and has come back more times than me? And I'm not talking about like Kevin Owens losing. I'm talking about really being written fucking off.
Yes.
Totally forgotten about by the company.
Top card to low card.
Non-existent.
Yeah.
To not being in the fucking program, to not being in the video game.
Wow. I never even thought of that.
I don't think anyone else has. And I mean that. I'm not saying I'm not saying losing. Oh, this guy doesn't get to push it. I'm not saying that bullshit. I'm saying truly fucking written off by the company. This guy's just a fucking body.
Yep.
And it's come back more times than me. Nobody.
True.
And even after I got released, now look at what I'm.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. Then you get fired, the ultimate written off, and you just prove, it that you were ready to do it because you won Independent Wrestler of the Year from 19 different publications, whoever those are. Anyways, you finish off the show. Shot of the video game. You're giving flowers to Eve. I'm not sure if that was actually in the video game or somebody rendered that or something.
No, I think. Maybe the video game people. I was very tight with the video game. Well, not very tight, but tight enough at this point, if I asked them to do something, they would make it for me and send it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
so that's probably what happened.
Cool finish off. All right. Let's finish out the show, but first a little word from our sponsors. Let's hear the Are You Serious Bro tweet of the week.
Are you serious, bro?
All right, Are You Serious Bro? All you got to do is find a tweet or tweet me. Use the hashtag Are You Serious Bro. If it pops me, if I read it, you will get an 8x10. This week comes from J. N. Fernandez, 1980. This is figure related, guys. So if you don't collect figures, you might not get it. But so Big Bad Toy Store got them, but Ringside C got the manufacturer delayed item estimated 2022 email. Hashtag Are You Serious, Bro? That's in reference to our Super 7 major pod figures. Listen, I don't know what the fuck happened, okay? Super 7 didn't get them. The company, the company who makes them didn't get them. Ringside Collectibles, the #1 online retailer for all wrestling figures, didn't get them. But Entertainment Earth, Big Bad Toy Store, they got them. I don't fucking have them.
Right.
So listen, I'm just as frustrated as you guys. I don't know if you guys think I have a Toys R Us in my garage with all these Super 7 figures. I don't.
Yes.
I had two. I have one on display up there, and the other one I sent to Impact Wrestling that they used for my entrance at Hard to Kill, which, by the way, I lost at Hard to Kill, fair and square. Even though I did have WRC pinned and Moose pulled out the referee, even though Moose kicked me in the balls, even though he powerbombed me into Chelsea, I'm not gonna make excuses.
Mm-hmm.
I lost, but I had a pretty badass video wall.
Yeah, entrance is great.
Yeah.
Okay. Know your bro. Use the hashtag Know Your Bro. You only have a couple more weeks for this. Ask a question. We'll answer it on the pod, and you get an 8x10. Will Botello at WJ Botello _32. He's the Big Papa Pump guy.
Yeah, I love him.
Yes. He says, any chance of getting a live MC True Lion story and extreme conversations at one of the next live major wrestling figure podcast events? I would argue that the live major WF pod shows that we do aren't necessarily major WF pod. They're more major pod network because these people that we have are all in the universe. You are there. I'm there. So basically, MCs at all these shows, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you've never been to one of these shows, I guess you might think, oh, they're just talking about action figures for an hour and a half. Like,
We barely
I think-
talk about it.
yeah, like I mean, no, I don't think we ever talk about. Like, yes, maybe sometimes if like Gangrel, hey Gangrel, here are your figures. Which one was the best? Like that might be a segment, but other than that, it's just shooting the shit. It's
Right.
like you said, Major Pod Network. And we're not going to go change the name of the.
Right.
It is what it is now.
Yes. Yes.
So,
It's presented by Major Pod Network. Off the Top Rope is open for them. I open the show usually, so that would be like MC. We have ECW guys. I'm pretty sure we've had an ECW guy or two.
Bro, we had RVD at Live 10, and he
Yes.
talked all about ECW, the music. I mean, that was extreme. We had an extreme conversation before extreme conversations right there.
Yeah, there you go. So
And then I tell stories.
yeah, we do.
Listen, you got to come to one of these shows. Live 11 sold out in Orlando, but Live 12 is coming Dallas, Texas, March 31st. I want you all to be there.
It's the Thursday before Mania.
The Thursday. I know Friday is slammed with all these shows. Don't worry, we're doing it the day before. We're doing it the day before.
So make sure that you get that plane ticket for Wednesday.
Or Thursday.
Oh yeah, I guess Thursday morning.
Yeah, or Thursday morning. We have a lot of cool stuff planned for 11, but I'm somebody, I have always been this way. I focus, of course, I have tentative ideas for 11. Like we were talking about yesterday, some merch ideas and shit. But I go full force into what I'm doing. I save nothing. I hold nothing back. And then I do it again. Listen, I'm not saying it's all going to be like successful. Of course not. But like, I'm not going to say, well, I don't want to do this for 11 because I want to save it for 12. Fuck that. Or I don't want to do that for this week's episode. I want to do it for the next one. No, fuck it. Go all in, all out, and then worry about the next week. And if it's not, I will never sacrifice something I'm working on for a future project.
Right.
Whether it be an episode, a podcast, a t-shirt design, a match. No, fucking just do it all there.
Right.
No saving. Save nothing.
There you go, guys. Hashtag save nothing. All right.
That's right.
Characters debuted none, but returning Chi Big O Ziggler, Dad Stamford. This episode, 209,324 views. 5 minutes and 27 seconds. It aired on January 11th, 2011. That'll do it for episode 48.
2012.
Sorry, I'm just 2011 stuck in my head. ProWrestlingTees.com/Major WF Pod, ProWrestlingTees.com/Matt Cardona or Smart Mark Sterling for this show's shirts or our shirts. Today I am wearing this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I got it in a crate. It's a long sleeve. It's a little thin, but
I thought you were doing a wrestling shirt every episode. It's not wrestling.
it is not, but this is nerdy. So whatever.
right. That's fair.
I have more wrestling shirts, and I just wanted to wear this one. I got the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast. This is my favorite hat that we did. This is the Star Wars font.
Is that Live 6?
I believe this was just a special release on May the 4th.
Okay. Oh, maybe that's what
I think we did a shirt and a hat. It was limited. So
Got it.
I don't have anything really coming up. What do you got to plug?
MattCardonaMerch.com for all your Matt Cardona merch. Pro Wrestling Tees, of course, like you said. This week, GCW, Chicago, and Detroit. I'm taking on Rhino in Detroit, Ricky Morton in Chicago. And then, of course, MajorPodMerch.com. The Major Bendy is still available. Check that YouTube video out, youtube.com/MajorPodNetwork. The whole history of the Just Toys Bendums, and then go buy our Bendies. It's myself, Brian, Swoggle, Smart Mark, MajorPodMerch.com. And once Series 1 sold out, we're not making more. So I'm not saying there's not going to be a repaint. I'm not saying that. But these 4 will not get remanufactured. And we just officially placed the order for the My World set, which is Conrad Thompson and 2 Double J's. So it's going to be really, really exciting.
Love that. All right, close us out, baby.
Like me on Facebook. I'm not even going to say Facebook. Someone from Facebook hit me up because it's not going to happen. Follow me on Twitter. Subscribe to this podcast. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go back and listen and watch all the other episodes. Drink some PBR. Joey Janela, fuck you, and take care. Spike your hair.